We've talked about this before on the podcast. I did the show, PBD podcast. There was a guy, Sammy Gravano, very famous gangster, and he's explaining murders. He's explaining how he's killed 18 people, and he's going into detail about each murder. And one of them, he recalls a story in jail, and he used colorful jail language. Hard R.
Colorful jail language?
Hard,
I'm going to say that from now on.
Hard R, and it wasn't neighbor, okay? Like, it was started with N, ended with R, and so, and the show, like, shut down. We're like, what are we supposed to do? Do we address it? Do we not address it? And he powers on and he does it again. And you could like feel the room be like, and the comments, you could see the comments go scroll. Like it's all anybody talked about. And we talked about it after the show. We're like, do we take it down? Mm-hmm. What do we do? And it dawned on me later that night, bro, this dude was talking about murdering people. Not even a thought whether or not we should take this down. Not even a thought whether or not we were like, wow, this is bad. If anything, I was like, wow, this grandpa's pretty cool. Like, this dude's a cool dude. Wow, tell me more about how you kidnapped him and then, interrogated him for information before you murdered him.
Was it on YouTube?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Okay, yeah, because you do have to worry about somebody reporting you for that.
Yeah, I was second chair on the podcast. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
This one, watch yourself.
Oh, I bet. I've been watching it. I haven't used any colorful prison language.
There's still time. But we talked about it, and it literally dawned on me, like, being a racist is far worse in our culture than being perceived as a racist is far worse in our culture than being a murderer. Mm-hmm. That's a wild thing. It's very interesting. In red states, you have these blue cities, and they try so hard. It's a try so hard community so bad. When I was in Greenville, there were, what do they call it? The Black Israelites, the guys that come out. Have you ever seen these guys?
They're in New York. They're
everywhere.
Yeah.
But in New York, they get ignored mostly, right?
Because you don't know what to do with them. You're like,
In Greenville, they come up and thank these people. Thank you. You're doing such great work. And I sit here and I go, you're fucking pathetic. What are you doing, man? This is insanity. So, like, they're Asheville, the worst. Pockets of Dallas. So there's, like, they go out of their way so hard to try to buck what they think is the stereotype of being, like, a red state white person.
Oh, wow.
And that pocket of Dallas specifically is...
Oh, so they don't want to seem like disrespectful or racist.
But they go so...
Is that what you mean?
They overcorrect so far that they're remarkably disrespectful and racist and patronizing and condescending. They just have no concept of what it's like to be a normal human being.
Like, I think what you're saying is, like, these were Democrat, like, liberal women living in a red state, so they feel like they've got to, like, take up, they've got to
100%
speak out. Yeah.
And in those, like, red states, these blue cities, they're so obnoxiously blue. And it becomes their entire personality. Like, we know people that are Republicans, we know people that are Democrats, we know people that are everything, but you're Cornell, you're Mickey, you're a fighter, you whatever you have supersedes your political identity. In those areas, it doesn't.
It's their whole
like I'm one of the good guys, and everybody else is a bad guy, and it's a horrible thing for a comedy show in particular, because the whole point of a comedy show, and Dave Chappelle's run into this, and Wanda Sykes, who I disagree with politically about everything, ran into this in Red Bank. There was a show in Red Bank where guys walked out on Wanda Sykes, and she was,
Wait, where's Red Bank?
Red Bank, New Jersey.
Okay.
In a red area of New Jersey. People walked out, and Wanda Sykes was like, why were you even at my show? What comedy did you think you came for here?
And she's a household name. Like, with me, nobody knows who the fuck I am, but, like, Wanda Sykes, it's like...
what you're... Like, what are you... But also the same thing is, like, shut the fuck up and get through the show. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, get through the... It's not about you, man. Get through the show. The whole point of comedy is at some point, everybody in the room is going to get it. We're all going to survive. And that connective tissue is what brings us closer together. Comedy connects across all different identities because at the end of the day, this is that lived experience. We're all going to die.
Yeah.
We're all dealing with shit, and your shit may be different than his shit, but it's still shit.
Yeah, it's like, how dare you correct somebody who's up there? Like, we don't have sponsors. I don't even have a fucking agent or a manager. I'm not, like, sponsored by Big Pharma or BlackRock. I don't get a commercial break when shit goes down. I'm a person up there with a microphone and my lived experiences. It's like, you're going to correct me? Like, you fucking paid. Like, especially with stand-up comedy, it's like, you literally paid to hear someone else's opinions. And you're going to still correct the fellow audience members and the comedian. It's like, dude, you must think you're hot shit, because I would never have the balls to do that.
Yeah, like it's also just, you know, who do you think you are type of a situation. Like, sit down and shut up. Nobody cares what you have to say.
I think you said it great when you said we're in America. Like, you can have your own opinion. I don't understand where it happened where we can't disagree on shit, and now all of a sudden you're one of these trigger words. Like, once you say someone's a racist, a transphobe, whatever, the conversation's over. There's no more dialogue. It's absolutely over. And people throw that shit out like it's like you're calling someone their first name.
Big time.
Right? So it's just
Big time.
it's amazing to me.